Here's an overview of what's in the course. There are 8 modules, designed to be taken 1 module per week. But of course you can go at your own pace as well. And module 1 is about separating light and shadow. I'll explain a little bit about the physics of light, just the basics, just enough for our understanding to draw realistically. One theme here is specular and diffuse reflection. I'll explain different types of lights and how they make subjects look differently, how you can use them to communicate differently, and also how the old masters have used different types of light, different qualities of light. Every module has several assignments. That's a huge, important core part of the course. I think the main part of the course, apart from the theory videos, are the assignments. In module 1, we'll draw some eggs, we'll set up eggs and light them as if they were little movie stars, and play with light and have some fun and get to know light and shadow practically hands-on. Now we'll draw a few household items or things that you'll find around you, just to get some practice. Module 2 is about seeing light effects. Here I'm going to take a look at each of the 12 modeling factors in great detail, so don't worry if this looks daunting. We'll go through each one step by step. They're really important. And I will emphasize ambient light and ambient occlusion. That's one of those things in the course that's going to make your work jump to the next level. We'll do an assignment where we analyze each modeling factor in an image to get more familiarity with each of them. Here's the ambient occlusion study, also a favorite assignment for many students. And then module 3 is about controlling values. First, we'll get into what are tonal values, and then get some control over your medium. So we're doing a gradient as well as a scale to practice foundational pencil skills, or charcoal or oil or whatever medium that you're choosing to work in. I'll talk about the value grouping and doing that in simple subjects and in more complex subjects, and we'll get to practice by doing value studies. Then module 4, how to create realistic shading. Probably my favorite module, and if you've seen the shading tricks video on Proco, you know this one already in concept. So how did an artist like Bouguereau create this subtle but very volumetric shading? That's what we'll explain. I'll go over 3 common shading mistakes, and you'll draw a perfect egg. You'll draw the most refined, most detailed drawing that you've ever done in your whole life. That's my invitation in module 4. And we'll do some shading creatures if you have time left. So getting more practice. Module 5 is about light probes. Light probes are a tool from visual effects. So if you see a movie like this, Prometheus, when you compare it to what that shot looked like on set, it's vastly different. And one tool that makes this conjuring of a new reality possible are light probes. And here we come back to specular and diffuse reflection. So we are maybe working visual effects, maybe you are a traditional painter, illustrator, concept artist. Wherever you are, light probe can be very useful to understand the light direction. And we'll do one assignment here where we take a movie still and actually analyze the lighting in that scene and create a light probe for each of the main elements in the scene. Module 6, how to show form. So here we're getting into the idea of structure, and I'll share different approaches, different tools for showing form. This is a very intense video lesson, the 7 tools for showing form, where you will gain a lot of tips to use across your artwork. Assignments here are form analysis by drawing section lines, and then building blocks. So we'll break down a complex form into simple primitive forms, geometric forms. And then practice some cross-hatching also in Module 6. Module 7 is about inventing shading. Very, very fun and useful strategy here. Halfway to black shading. So if you need to find the shadow value for any given material value. So here is a white object. I can find the corresponding shadow value by using the halfway to black method that I will explain, and you will get to practice with the halfway to black worm. So drawing from imagination a object with two different local colors and finding the correct values. And then pushing that further by doing the halfway to black head. In this case, this example, the refined halfway to black head, where we're using everything we've learned in the course so far to create an image from imagination that looks as realistically shaded as possible. And in Module 8, finishing with a super fun module to build a maquette, both physically in traditional media. You can use whatever you have at hand, clay, paper, anything works, to have a reference for your image that you're going to create. So, and in addition to the physical maquette, we'll do a digital maquette using Blender, which is a phenomenal, wonderful tool. And I give you an introduction to Blender inside the course. And the final assignment of the course is to create a drawing based on your maquette. So here, maquette on the left and final artwork on the right. These are all student examples here. And then a maquette on the top and the final artwork on the bottom. Right, that's it. I hope this whets your appetite, and I want to tell you that I'm going to keep adding videos to the course. I'm producing new assignment demonstrations, and you'll get access to them as soon as they're ready. Now, let's take a look at what materials you'll need.